Good morning. It's Sunday. It's going to be an interesting day today. I got a lot to do. I don't know if I'm going to be showing you guys everything, but I am going to go over to the swap meet this morning, and I might shoot a few seconds of that. But I figured today's Sunday night chat is going to be me talking while I'm doing stuff. A lot happened this week just with talking to people, of course, in the news and everything else. But I wanted to start off by saying or talking about how, oh man, what this channel brings to my life in a positive way because of you guys, right? Now, I just have this opportunity. Like, I always have met interesting people because of what I do for a living, right? I'm always going into strangers' homes and getting to know them and making them feel comfortable so they'll give me money to do a project. That's a whole separate thing, right? Because there's a dynamic there between personalities. But in the case of me just having this channel and you guys watching, you're all different and you have different things that you like and don't like, you know. And so I never know when I'm talking to somebody what their thing is, like what they dig, what they don't dig, all that sort of thing. And I got a call from a guy, I think it was Jose or Tony, I can't remember, I'm sorry dude, but he's like in the Inland Empire and he's a certified mechanic and welder, and he was just calling because he's a fan of the channel. I think we have spoken before, and he was just basically trying to offer up his abilities. And of course I've got Dave and his buddy Dan, and I do most of my own work. I do have a good mechanic, so it's not like I'm looking for that kind of help, but I do appreciate it. He was a real nice guy. We talked for quite a while on the phone. It was funny. He had these questions, and the way he was posing these questions was like he was it's like he was interviewing me. I don't remember everything we were talking about, but it was nice. He happened to catch me at the right time. I only bring it up because you can't expect me to be able to just like drop everything and have a conversation if you call me, especially like during normal work hours. That's a little crazy. But he happened to catch me at actually it wasn't even the right time. I got a loud bike in front of me. I was finally doing some VA paperwork again. So I've been filling out everything like I need to, and I know that they're working on it because they got back to me. When I separated from the Marine Corps, as you guys know, I didn't do my full time. I did less than 2 years actually there. And but part of my thing with them trying to work a deal or get something out of this was that my ankles got really wrecked while I was in there. And one of the things that happened, what are we doing, man? This guy couldn't make a decision whether he was turning, so he got trapped in the light. Okay. So after I got out in 87, flash forward like 8 or 9 years, they eventually went out, my ankles, at least the one on the left, and my ankle blew out when I was working on a film. And I had mentioned that. Actually, there was a guy, Lance, down at the VA who was helping me with this, and he copied all this paperwork, and then nothing happened. I called him a bunch of times. He never got back to me, so now I'm just doing it all on my own, which is fine. But they sent me a form to fill out for like where the surgery was and all the surgery information, the name of the doctor and everything. So I'm actually having one of my clients print all that. I've got like 11 papers that back up the fact that I had that surgery. Anyhow, that's what I was in the middle of. I was trying to fill that stuff out when he called me, so I never did fill it out. But I'm on it. I'm on it. Actually, today I'm picking up the pages so I could basically include that in case I didn't fill something out correct on the form when I do that, and I'll be able to send that to the VA. Anyhow, I actually wrote notes down because today, this whole week was about talking to people. Another really interesting thing happened. Well, first of all, Paul, the guy that got the seat swivel in the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, real nice guy, actually called me up just to check in and tell me that he installed it. He hasn't sent me any pictures of it, but it looks like we're probably going to hang out at some point. He wants to do the Hollywood sign hike, and he's down with going camping and all that sort of stuff. So, which made me think of this funny joke. Paul's married, I think, so it's fine. He's straight, but this is this funny thing. I thought, if you went camping, right, and if you woke up in the morning and your pants were down around your ankles and your butthole hurt like hell, would you tell anybody? Would you? Would you tell anybody? If you said no to that, then my next thing is, well, you want to go camping? It's a classic joke, man. It's a classic joke. Anyhow, so that was cool. Talked to him for a bit, and the seat swivel worked out great. And by the way, that seat swivel, I put it in the description. I didn't know it at the time. That was actually made by that J5 Customs guy up in Canada. Sorry, man, I forget your name. Really cool guy. He sent me a bunch of stuff. He actually is the guy that sent me boy, what do you call them? Kind of like a D-ring lashing points that I have up on the roof deck. What are we doing here? And they worked out great. Now, this guy at J5 Customs, it turns out that we'll park over here in the shade. He did, if you guys watch Van City Van Life with that guy Chrome, he did Chrome's first build in his van that he lives in. He's a real nice guy, a real cool dude. The J5 Customs guy. Anyhow, he contacted me when I did that video and told me that he's the guy that built the seat swivel. So you know it's good quality stuff. So I'm real stoked about that. And now Paul knows that, and he's got to be happy. Even though I do the YouTube thing and I make these videos, when I'm talking to my phone and people are walking by, I'm still a little bit weird about it. Yeah. I don't have that Sarah confidence yet. Speaking of Sarah, she's on her way, I think. I think she's gonna be here Tuesday. That's the last time we texted, we talked about it. So she's supposed to come Tuesday and be in town here in LA for a few days. So we'll do this Hollywood sign hike, and maybe if she's up for it, I'll finally do a sit down with her and do like an interview. What I'm kind of thinking is we're probably gonna be doing a lot of stuff. She has stuff she has to do. She has a podcast she's doing with somebody. But when we're hanging, I'll talk to her about it. I'm sure she's cool with it. I'm hoping I can get her to be who she is when we're hanging. Because when she does her channel, you know, she's such a pro, like such a professional YouTuber that, you know, she doesn't swear and she keeps it very G-rated and all that. And when she and I are talking, she's one of the bros, man. So I'm hoping is cool about just being normal, being herself. Not that she's not herself on her channel. She's 100% herself on her channel. I'm just saying, you understand. There's a Sarah Wonder Hussy version that's YouTube relatable, separate from when you're hanging with somebody. Even with me. I'm pretty much me all the time, but I could be a little bit more crass and vulgar when I'm with the bros. You know what I'm saying? For the sense of humor. By the way, these are Persols from like the 90s. I picked these things up, and I wasn't super stoked with them because they had this crazy curve to them. It was even more than that, and they were too tight on my face. And just so you know, with a pair of glasses like this, if you heat these up with a hair dryer, make them real warm, you could bend them out and hold them there till they set, and then they'll fit you. All right, let me get my shit together here. We're gonna go walk through the swap meet. I'll probably shoot a few seconds of that. Stick around, there's more to talk about. All right. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. This is how I usually get it together here. This is a helmet bag, like helicopter pilots, things like that. And you guys have seen this before. I sewed this piece of leather on here. Hand saddle stitch with some real thick thread, thick leather, and put this D-ring on here. so I can put a shoulder strap on it. This bag is big enough for me to put pretty much anything I decide to purchase in it. That works out great. I think I put it this way, maybe. Nice, nice. Of course, we're going to put the hat on now that I got the strap and it stays on. Get the sun off my head. And yes, I did write a couple notes about a few things I wanted to talk about. One of the things I wanted to talk about is, I talked about Paul and Tony, but this other guy, Grayson, dude, I'm going to put links in this video here in the description for Grayson. So Grayson is this really interesting guy, young guy. He's like 27, and he's into the barefoot thing at such a young age. It's pretty cool. Turns out he's from Alaska. Now here's the thing, one of my barefoot videos, he made a comment. He said, dude, that's great. I don't remember what the comment was, but he said that he's making a pair and he thought I would dig on them. So I went to his YouTube channel. There's not a lot there. There's not a whole bunch of videos there yet, but got the flippity flops on. You can hear him. He's making his own boots. Now here's the thing. He's not making them himself. Like, you have to dodge the human poop. There's a bunch of human poop over there. There's more human poop right here with the toilet paper. That's how you know a human did it. Welcome to LA. Dodge the poop, dodge the poop, dodge the poop. Crazy. So yeah, I looked at his stuff and then we started chatting. He sent me something on Instagram. And his story is he left Alaska, he came down to the lower 48. I think he was in Ohio. And he... hang on a second. Alright. So he... let's double check, yep. So he went ahead and went down to Mexico. He's somewhere in central Mexico. And he found these factories down there. And he found a company that makes shoes. And he has designed his own heavy-duty barefoot work boot. The whole reason I eventually stumbled upon Chris with Broadwingers is because that's what I wanted, a heavy-duty work boot. And they don't exist. There's plenty of barefoot shoes and barefoot boots out there, but they're all designed for hiking and walking around in nature. A heavy-duty work boot needs a thicker sole. And this guy's doing it with a hard toe as well for safety. So we got the bond there on this whole subject, and he is sending me a pair of boots that I'm going to review. And he has a crowdfund or something. He's trying to raise money to pay for this. So I'm going to send you guys the link, or I'm going to put it in the description. And you guys should fund this if it's something that you've been wanting. We'll talk about this more in a bit. Pásale, barato, 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 barato. You can get your fine art here too. So this is a copy of the tilt-all, made much later and in black. I've never seen that before. And you guys know me, if I can get these on a good deal. Thank you. $10. There's a guy down here that sells CDs or DVDs, 50 cents a piece. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? You look like you're ready for something.
I'm always ready for something.
Ready for something.
Oh, there's one I never saw before.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Dude, I gotta get that. Holy crap. So I'm actually recording right now. Does that bother you?
I have no problem, but it's not my booth.
No, I know that. I know. He's
good.
super cool. But haven't you done some extra work before or something? Because you look real
Oh,
familiar.
yeah, well, in my youth.
It's the guy.
In my youth.
Because, I mean, Big Trouble in Little China or anything like that?
A lot of my buddies are in that. No, I'm more from Wild Wild West and Star Trek original.
Okay. Well, because you have a distinctive look, obviously. You know what I mean? So it makes you...
Oh, thank you.
Couldn't help myself. 2 more DVDs.
Buenos días, buenos días, buenos días, buenos días. ¿Cómo está? Pásale, pásale, compromiso.
Le damos, pásale.
Pasaba de mí.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, George. How you doing?
All right. Got plenty of tools now.
You got what?
More.
I see it. I see it. I think I bought like at least two of the compact Makita drills from that guy and a bunch of batteries.
Aprovecha, aprovecha, 10 dólares lo que está en el piso. Si quieres, 10 dólares. A dólar la ropa en el piso, a dólar, a dólar.
I'm done with this. Walk out the other side and walk around the back side of the block here. There's a lot of vendors who are out on all the streets out here, and sometimes when I have more time, I'll walk out on Vermont there and up and down these side streets because you can find some really good deals here. It's $2 to get in there, which isn't bad.
Cuando uno trabaja duro, sí, lo baja, pero...
Y me la estaba comiendo y sí, es que yo pues se la mano. Atrás de número.
Ah, llévate. Ahí lo voy a arreglar. Voy a poner el tiene gatos y mire cómo amanezco de pelo. Tiene gatos en el apartamento.
¿Yo?
No, mi hija.
Oh, sí.
Mire, compró pantalón negro nuevo y ¿cómo está?
Yo no tengo gatos, pero una inquilina de atrás. And this is somebody's house here. Palatial estate.
¿Encuentra qué? ¿No encuentras enteras caro?
Nada, aquí voy caminando. ¿Ah?
That's the end of that. Yeah. I get some funny looks in that place from time to time. Every once in a while I see some dude in there looking at me like he's thinking about rolling me. This is the time when you want somebody to sneak up behind you because I'd capture it all on video for you. Anyhow, I know quite a few of the people there because I've been going long enough, and yeah, I picked up a couple DVDs and this tripod, which this is really crazy. This one, it looks amazing. I literally have a tilt-all tripod collection. This is my fourth. $10. It's the best tripod ever made. You could put a movie camera on it. I mean, it depends on what you mean by that, right? Because today, with technology, you can get something a lot smaller, a lot lighter, more compact. This thing is a beast. But that's what's cool about it. Breaking the law, breaking the law, breaking the law. Let's cross the street here so I don't have to walk through the human feces. So the whole city smells like poop, piss, and weed. That's Los Angeles. And every once in a while you walk by a food vendor or something and it smells really good for 3 seconds. And then you get past that and then you get a nice strong whiff of fresh urine. It's crazy, man. This would help. Just wear one of those around your neck all the time. It is a little strange. So far, so good. You guys know I did have one of my vans stolen. That was at the Long Beach Marina. 2018, I think. And I'm still looking down for crap. There's still poop on the ground. So whenever I walk back to the van, I'm always nervous. Is it still there? And then the other thing I get nervous about is, because it's so high, it would be easy for somebody to want to get underneath there and get those catalytic converters. However, these are new. I don't know if it's true. The rumor is that they don't want the new ones. So I don't know if that's correct. Let's get the keys out here. I might have forgot to lock that this time, which is extremely rare for me. Usually pretty much on top of that sort of thing. All right. This is wild. It's got this other contraption on it, which is interesting. It's not, seems kind of superfluous here. This is for holding up some other thing, but this is the sort of thing that could come in handy in the van. Just realized the camera isn't angled up high enough when I'm out there on the sidewalk. Anyhow, this is the tripod. Of course, I'm being backlit by the sun, so you probably can't see it. I've never seen this before. This is a Star D Manufacturing, New York, professional. This is the nicest condition. Okay, well, the one rubber gasket is busted apart, but that's not a big deal. This thing is tight. All black anodized. It's amazing. Wow. It's covered in dust. Probably cat dander, so I'm probably going to make myself sick. That's a beautiful thing, man. I just like well-made things. And I picked up a couple DVDs, which I didn't need to buy. But I can't help myself. I never saw this before, so I'm definitely going to watch this later. And then I got me the Maltese Falcon, which, you know, it's a classic, and I'll enjoy that. Anyhow, that's the end of that. Let's get back to talking to what I wanted to talk about. All right, so, boy, where's that piece of paper? Just didn't want to forget because I did make a few notes here. And I already talked about Grayson with the boots. So yeah. So he's making a heavy-duty work boot. They're interesting looking. I was thinking about it last night because I'll be talking to him soon again. We just really hit it off. And it was funny too because I always make the joke with young guys, you know, if they bring up their mom, I'm like, well, is she single? And he's like, actually, she is. I can't help myself. Anyhow, the only thing I'm concerned with, it was really neat. So he went around where he's at. I don't know the town that he's in Mexico, but he went to these places. So there's a bunch of factories there that make shoes. What's crazy is you can go into these stores and there are shoes hanging there with no soles on them. So it's just the vamp and the whole shoe's made, and they're just waiting for you to come in so they can look at your feet and match it up to a last, you know, like Chris makes a last for your feet custom, but they have different lasts in there, and then they can basically form it around the last and then glue a sole onto it, and you can have a custom pair of shoes. Pretty custom. They're not going to be exactly to your feet. So what Grayson's doing is he has them making lasts that are, you know, kind of flat across the top. Again, it's barefoot shoes wherein along the big toe it's a nice straight line and it's wide for your toes to splay out, no arch support, zero heel rise, but he's doing a thicker sole. And we talked about this, and again, my only concern with it is the way that they're making the shoes. There's a lot of parts to them. He's doing a neat thing. He's putting a Kevlar liner in there, so if you step on something, hopefully it won't puncture through. And he had this really funny thing he told me. He's like, well, we put that in, then we couldn't sew them together because they couldn't sew through the Kevlar. They're still flexible. So my only concern with it is with all those layers sewn together and all that stitching, and depending on what the stitching is how robust will they be. And I won't know till he sends me a pair. We're both the same size, a 10. He says as soon as he gets a set ready, he's going to send them up to me, and that's cool. What I'm hoping for is that people will fund him. A lot of you guys here, when I do the barefoot shoe videos, you're like me. You've been working on construction sites. That's where he's coming from. He's coming from the construction world, so he knows. And you just can't find a heavy-duty barefoot shoe. Any of the barefoot boots you buy that are designed for hiking, if you wore them on the job site, they wouldn't last you 4 months probably. Like framers, things like that. They're just going to get beat up. So that's his idea. He's got 2 versions right now. They're both pretty neat looking. We'll see how it goes. What I'm hoping is that he's successful enough and he sells enough of these and makes a profit to where then he can have Chris make him a pair of custom boots for himself. And because I want him to see the difference in the manufacturing process. One of the things I brought up to him was like, it's got to be resolable, Goodyear weld. So he's doing that too. His price range is going to be somewhere between like $180 and $300. He'll have like a regular toe and a hard toe. Again, this is not what this video is supposed to be about. I just wanted to bring these things up now in case I don't mention them later. And if he had a pair of Chris's Broadwingers, he would see the simplicity of it. You can't compete with Chris. Like, Chris's prices are high because he makes a custom last for your feet and keeps it. And now anytime you want another pair made or whatever, he can do that for you. So that's a huge part of the process. And it's all hand stitched, and it's 3.5 to 4 millimeter bison hide. And that's all it is. It's not lined. Real thick footbed that everything's sewn to. You know what I'm saying. You guys have seen the Broadwingers already. If Grayson sees that and actually handles a pair himself, I think he could do a version of his boot made that way, which would save him on materials, and I think be even easier for him to make in a way. Again, it wouldn't be fit exactly to your foot, but none of like whenever you want to say it, you can't think of it. The Jim Green boots out of South Africa, Zero Shoes, all the people out there making these boots for sale that you just order your size, that are barefoot boots. They're just a shape and they should work for you, but they're not made exactly for your particular foot. I'm just pointing that out. That's the difference with the Broadwingers. Now, getting past that, what else did I write here? Okay, this thing here. Is this true? Is this what happened? The Olympics? I haven't watched the Olympics in decades. I'm not against them. It's just not my thing. I'd rather be out there hiking around doing my own thing than sitting around. It's very hard for me to sit and watch other people do activities or sports. This seems odd to me. So, stand in the middle of the road, dude. So, I don't watch it. But, from what I understand, it's so crazy, it's hard for me to believe it's real. Apparently, you can't find video anywhere of the opening ceremonies for 2024. They did this I watched some clips of it that people shared on YouTube. So they did this, like, I don't know, man, a bunch of trannies, gay people and everything else, which I have no personal problems with, but they did like they represented the Last Supper. So Christians are all up in arms and pissed off. And these people are kind of disgusting. And look, I don't have a problem saying it. I've got a lot of friends of mine that are overweight and all that, and that's fine. I wish you weren't. I wish you would stop eating so much food, and I wish you would get some exercise. Just, you know, for your own health and happiness, but fine. Putting that aside, why would you have that slop representing the Olympics? There's not an Olympic athlete that looks like that. What is that about? That's super crazy for one thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's about us too. It's about us too. Us. I don't know how they were able to convince the people producing the ceremony that would be a good idea. And I don't know how those people who allowed it to happen thought it would be a good idea. This DEI all-inclusive bullshit is nonsense. It's getting under my skin. Then to make matters worse, I saw this clip. So they show somebody, it's a headless tranny singing, transvestite. Clearly, that's what it looks like. Looks like a man's head with makeup on, holding his own head with a headless body. And then it pans out to this building and flames come, explosion and flames throughout. And then this rock band starts doing this crazy heavy metal. It looked like what you would be greeted with if you were entering hell. That's what it looked to me with my own eyes. And it's hard. Is that what the ceremony was? I don't know. I didn't watch it, and now you can't see it anywhere. But if that's what it was, if that representation I saw on YouTube on several channels is exactly what happened, wow, man. This is it. These are the people that are running the planet. This is what they want you to be okay with. We're heading, there's a major fall coming, man. There's a major fall coming. This is like the Weimar Republic in Berlin in the 1920s and 30s with all the debauchery and everything going on. And then when that happens, like, evil people could start running things, and it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Let me get back to the house and I'll wrap all this up. Back to the pad. I don't often say I'm home. I say it once in a while, but that's because home for me is the Jersey Shore. Perpetual calendar. Seiko. High frequency quartz. You guys might notice that this, of course, this porch is very dirty. By the way, Kevin, you wanted that sewing machine, that Husqvarna. It's right there, waiting for you to contact me next time you're in LA, and you can just have it. You might notice I haven't been doing a lot of videos this week. I just feel funny about it, you know? I don't feel like I'm making enough good quality. I was going through these bracelets today, this morning, before I left. And I bought some booze for Sarah coming. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't want to be making videos just to be pumping out videos. I want to have something to say, and I feel a little funny about just, I don't know, man, making all these videos. I don't feel like it's good enough for you. I feel like I got to be doing something else. So when Sarah gets here, you know, we're going to have some fun. You guys will enjoy that because you know our banter. She'll be busting my balls, and it'll be fine, and it'll be funny for you. My viewers don't mind so much. Her viewers give her a bunch of grief with the way that she talks to me, so I think that's funny. But it's cool, and that'll be fun. And I want the channel to be more about that. I want to have more conversations with people, in particular, people I know, because, you know, I think I know some pretty interesting people, and they're all talented. So I'd like to do more of that and get out and do things, and all of that's happening. It's just right now I'm going to be in the middle of work. I'll film some of that project that I'm doing. I'm building this roof over the back of somebody's house. She had some concrete poured, and we're going to put a roof over that, and then we're going to do a shorter section that goes the whole length of the back of her house. Excuse me. She has some neighbors that she's been having some problems with that she's dealing with. So that's part of the thing. Shade for the house, make the back area cooler, you know, common sense. And this is my friend Kirgy, and you guys will meet her at some point. She doesn't like being on camera, but she's warming up to it. She's a natural. The stories that she has, she was a stripper for decades. And then she ran the Jumbo's Clown Room for a long time, which it's on my refrigerator here. That was from the big thing that they had, you know, 14 years ago. And I'm not a huge fan of that place, but why throw that in the garbage? I just thought it was funny. By the way, at least 30 orders from rockauto.com. I'm assuming that these things, people collect them and trade them, and I've got 3 of these 280Zs. So somebody had something else I don't have and you wanted to trade, let me know. Just thought that was neat. That is a genuine Kung Fu Grip G.I. Joe up there, yeah. Neon train clock, which the clock itself stopped working, but the neon has been redone. Pretty cool. Too much stuff, man. Too much stuff. The bike that got stolen and then I found again. You guys know the story. There's Sarah's Heine. Is that okay for YouTube? That's gonna flag it. They'll do that. They'll do that. The funky Mohammed. You know, you're not supposed to have images of Mohammed, and I saw this at the beach in Venice. Some guy was making these things, and I was like, I gotta have that because I don't care. There's the 1952 straight bar. There's a bunch of little silly things here. By the way, if you know 3D bot maker, I made this for that channel. I just never sent it in. These wheels spin. I weighed it down with lead. It fits all his parameters. I colored the lights in on the back here with some this thing will roll forever. Let's see here. Big kid here. But yeah, I painted the tail lights with some nail polish. Oh, excuse me, I just had a hell of a sneeze. Anyhow, just so much. I've got way too much stuff, as you guys know. And that'll be fun when she gets here, too. She'll goof on me about all that. But anyhow, as I was saying, I just want the channel to be more entertaining for you guys. And one of the things I'd like to do, I've done some reviews. I've been doing reviews of products when these companies contact me if it's something I want to use. Like, ooh, I sneezed. I think it's in my beard. You'd think it's mustache wax, but it's not. That joke's never going to get old. So, as I was saying, I've done I do like an unboxing and first impressions a lot. I'll do it with the watches. I've done it with some knives. I've done knife reviews. I've done in-depth discussions on knives and other gear. And I've used gear out in the field, and there's going to be more of that. I really want to start taking the van out with, like a survival manual for fun and show you that you can literally look at a survival manual, open it up, pick something to do it right there with the gear that you have on your person. I want to do a lot of that. And if you guys might remember, I was in Pahrump recently delivering that table to Patricia, and Patricia's husband, George, he passed, and he's got a channel, Iridium 242. I recommend you go there, check it out, like and subscribe. George reviewed prepper gear. He was a major prepper. Radios, ham radios, food, freeze-dried food. Matter of fact, I even have a homemade MRE that Patricia gave me that George made right here. And I'll give that a shot sometime. It'll be interesting to see what his tastes were, because people make MREs, to their personal taste. So this guy, Matt, who's friends with Patricia's kind of taken over the channel, and I watched a couple of the videos where they did these unboxing. They have a battle box and a crate box. These are companies where I think you could do $40 a month, $100 a month, $300 a month, whatever you want to give them. And then every month, or if it's quarterly, it depends. Every company works differently. You basically get this package in the mail. It's like Christmas, and it's a surprise. You don't know what's in it, but it's good gear, and it's always worth way more than what that monthly payment is. And I watched what they're doing there, and I thought, that's cool. That's really cool. I think they should be using the gear. So I talked to Patricia yesterday. It turns out Matt is up there right now testing a lot of the gear out. So I think the channel's going to make a turn for the better, in my opinion, for that. I think that'll be cool. Matt seems comfortable. He's got to work on his vocabulary and a few other little things, but that'll all come. He's a young guy. I think he's like 26 years old. But I actually reached out to those companies. We'll see what happens. Because I bring I'm not as serious about everything. I'm going to show you and explain it. But I like to pepper in some humor and goofy things pop into my head, and I just naturally throw that out there. That's why a lot of you are here. So I want to do more of that with the channel as well. And hopefully I could talk Sarah into getting on one of my 20-inch bikes, right? Like maybe this BMX Cruiser, or not some BMX, that was a scrambler. Probably get on my Stingray here, and then we'll cruise. Maybe we'll cruise out to Venice. We'll go down to the beach and cruise up and down the Strand on some bikes. That'll be fun. I'm sure she would love that. Anyhow, that's the end of this video. I don't know how long it is. Probably not very long for you. But that's enough for now, because I actually have to straighten up this pad. Did laundry last night. I got to fold my laundry. So let me get to that. I'll fold my laundry, straighten up a little bit. And then I've actually got to eat, and then I've got to go pick up that paperwork for the VA, and I got to load the truck up with tools and get them over to the job in the valley tomorrow. I got to start that job. Really, the beginning of that job is us rolling. I got to cut part of the roof back, and then we're rolling a trailer into our backyard, where eventually we're going to build a pad with it's not really a pergola. It's going to be a freestanding shade roof, basically, for the trailer, so the sun doesn't beat the hell out of it. And that won't be till probably next spring or something, but she wants me to do that for her as well. But we got to get the trailer back there first, because once I build this whole structure, I don't think that trailer is going to be able to get out of that yard after that, unless you disassemble the structure. And it is going to be made in a way that you could do that if you had to. So, or at least you could, there's a way to do it. I don't want to get into that right now. If I started talking about that, it'd be another 30 minutes of me talking about something that probably will never happen in great detail. That's it. I'm going to let it go there. I hope you guys enjoy this little different kind of Sunday night chat thing. Not my normal. Things are going to gel and settle here pretty soon. I'm going to get back into a rhythm. Since I did those trips, being off grid and going to Pahrump, I've been trying to take care of a lot of other little things. I haven't been in the shop for a week. I feel a little guilty about that. I got this thing I got to do for Phil, and I haven't been able to do it, and I got to get to that too. So there's a lot on my plate. I talked to Dave yesterday. We still got to do work with the van. I did get the Hydro Boost in the mail. I did a short on that, so I'm going to try to get that done while Sarah is here. Yeah, there's a lot happening. So, but that's it. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. Thank you for being here. Honestly, I think it's just a self-doubt thing I'm dealing with, and that's part of the reason why I didn't put out a lot of videos this week. It's like, why does anybody even want to watch? I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be putting videos out just for the sake of putting videos out because I'm monetized, and that helps. So also when Sarah's here, I'm hoping I can get her to get me settled here with this YouTube thing and make it so that I can finally get that money and start getting paid every month. That would be nice. Probably a couple things she could help me out with. So we'll see how all that goes. Anyhow, once again, thank you. Seriously, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for liking the videos and everything else that you do. I truly appreciate it. I'm just some dude. There's nothing special about me. It's pathetic, really, when you think about it. Living this life. Be kind to one another. Be as kind to everybody else as you are to me. Because if you look at my comments, it's pretty much all positive. There's a few jerks once in a while, but for the most part, it's pretty positive, so I feel like I must be doing something right. I'm not trying. I'm just being me. That's it for now. I'll catch you in the next one.